border, Croatia. We're waiting for our bus and we are actually leaving Croatia today.
We are Sarah and Marek. In October 2020, we left our home country of South Africa and set out to see the world using budget travel strategies to make our travels last as long as possible. From working on a traditional winery in Georgia, to a sailboat in Turkey, to attempting to hitchhike over 1,800 kilometers in 4 days, our budget travels have by no means been boring or uneventful. We can't wait to see what's next.
It's official. We are going to Bosnia Herzegovina. Next stop, Sarajevo. In 15 hours.
Still sleeping. The little blue dot is us. Croatia, Bosnia Herzegovina. We're about to cross the border. We've just crossed the border into Bosnia and Herzegovina, so now we officially have left Croatia. But before we start sharing content from Bosnia and Herzegovina, we actually want to share a bit about our experience in Croatia and just some final thoughts before we leave for good. Well, we technically have, but you know what I mean.
Coming into Croatia, we really thought that it would be a budget-friendly destination, but honestly, we found it more to be of an intermediary budget-friendly destination. So it's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap. Like for example, using the public transport. When we were in Pula now, it was at the level where we thought twice before using public transport. Now when we came into Croatia, a lady told us that Croatia is not a country where you find information for things online. Croatia is a type of country where you have to ask a person how to do a thing. So honestly, I think that we just didn't ask enough questions.
We've been in Croatia for about 3 weeks now and we've had a handful of sunny days, which is really sad because in my mind, coming into Croatia, it's like a beachy place, you know, the island life. And we were in such a beautiful destination with that Workaway that we were at. And yet, we just have had so much rain. Now, I don't think we can really complain about that because we are here in the low season, in a time of year that's not the best to come. But it was still pretty disappointing.
But having said that, Croatia is unbelievably beautiful and picturesque, and just the islands and the cliffs and just the sea, it is stunning. We just unfortunately had to appreciate it in the rain. Okay, but time's up, we need to get back onto the bus. We'll pick this up in a little bit.
For anyone interested, we came across the border using a British and a Polish passport. We didn't need a visa. All we needed to show was our vaccination proof of vaccination.
And we're back. Now during our time in Croatia, 98% of the people that we came across could all speak English. And not just speak English like here and there, they could speak English incredibly well. We could have full-on conversations with most of the people that we met. Now it makes things incredibly easy. It does make me personally feel quite bad because here I am coming into your home country and you're speaking to me in my home language rather than me speaking to you in your home language. Now that's nothing against Croatia. It is amazing that they're all able to speak English and all these different languages so well. Just for me, it really makes me wish that I could speak all these different languages and that I would be able to speak to you and all the Croatian people in your home language.
And if we're being honest, we actually weren't even ready to leave Croatia yet. And if you've been following along for a while, you'll know that we use Workaway to travel on a budget, and we've really been struggling to find Workaway hosts in Croatia. We're pretty sure we know the reason why. It's because it's the low season and most of the hosts that are looking for help on Workaway would need all of their help during the high season, which makes a lot of sense. But unfortunately, it's kind of forced us out of Croatia sooner than we would have liked.
Something that we noticed about Croatia almost immediately after coming into the country is that it's not really that typical modern, Western built-up country that you'd expect from the rest of Europe. It's still pretty much rough around the edges. An example of that is just with the public transport. Now the public transport is there and it works incredibly well, except you can't find information about it online. You have to ask people how to use it. An example of that is the morning that we actually traveled to Pula. This was a bit of a toughie. Our bus left at 5:30 that morning. And because it was so early, there was no buses, there's no taxis, there's no Ubers or Bolts even working at that time. So we had to walk 7 kilometers to the bus stop with all of our bags on. Our bodies were very sore after that day. Now for me, I really love that, you know, when you actually have to work for something and it's not just handed to you. That feeling of accomplishment, it's amazing. And that's exactly what you get in Croatia. And maybe that's why so many people actually hire cars when they drive through these Balkan countries, because it is pretty difficult to travel around. But I also think we just don't know enough and we definitely need to ask more questions. Now when it comes to the culture of Croatia, unfortunately, we haven't experienced the culture as much as we wanted to, but the little bit that we did, the people all seem so friendly and so hospitable, and they all just greet you with such a massive smile on your face. On their face.
Your face?
It gives you a smile on your face because they all make you feel so happy, and it's just such a nice place to be.
We've got to hop back onto the bus because it's about to leave us. The last step of the journey is to either catch a taxi or the tram to our accommodation, but because it's so late, we actually don't know if the trams are running, so we're kind of just trying to find out some more information, and we also don't know where the trams are, whereas we can see some taxis, so we can at least see a way home. 16 hours later, and we have finally arrived.
Right, but our overall impression of Croatia. So honestly, we loved our time there. Although we didn't really experience it the way that we wanted to, it was an amazing experience, and it's just one of those places where we honestly never thought we'd ever be able to go and visit. And just the fact that we were staying in Croatia, we managed to stay on an island right on the sea. It's like bucket list and like once in a lifetime type opportunity, and we really loved it. So if you ever do have the opportunity to go and visit Croatia, definitely go and spend some time there. You won't regret it.
And we just want to clarify, if we sounded like we were complaining earlier, that is not our intention. We are so grateful for the opportunity to be traveling at the moment and the amazing places we did stay in Croatia, but we just want to keep it real and make sure that we're sharing a real and honest experience, our real and honest experience with all of you.
But thank you so much for joining us for this video. We're so excited to go out and explore Bosnia and Herzegovina. We know absolutely nothing about this place, so we're excited to start learning and also to take you all along with us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you
in the next video.
In the next one.